Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Yes, checking the charts, only Bitcoin looks a little bit bullish at the moment because they are really showing, at least this year, those two candles where they started to push down the price while they were rising it. Look, the volume, that was not bad at all. I mean, the volume is still relatively low compared to what we have seen just, for example, in November and even in December, partly in December, but it's lifting up. That was one candle where I say, wow, respect, that's not bad at all. But why? Well, considering that we will see next Thursday, so in 2 days, they will release the core CPI for December, the CPI for December, so the monthly one, and the 1 year CPI for December. Investing.com is expecting to see a declining CPI by almost 0.6%. Right? If we take into account just all the data we had before and in the month before the CPI was declining. The big question is if the Christmas business just had maybe a negative effect to the CPI, indicating it's lifting up again. It's possible because we know consumers like, even with credit cards, to spend a lot of money, even if it's not their money. However, that's something we should take into account because it seems they are a little bit front running it, indicating, hey, we are 100% sure that CPI is going to decline. So, I mean, that's not smart money because it's obvious that it could happen, and it seems even the mainstream media is expecting it. I was reading some articles on investing.com, and that's something I really don't used to do, but it was bullish. Everything is bullish. Inflation peaked. Inflation will go down. Central bankers did everything. Maybe we should just break from here and don't rise interest rates anymore, at least not for the next month, and so on and so forth. If all this happen, we will go up hard. Not talking about all-time highs, not talking about, hey, moon next. No, but we can do, and you remember March 23, 24, that could be the trigger to go that way. It is possible, absolutely. Next week, we have core retail sales Wednesday, PPI for the monthly December, and retail sales for the monthly December. So both. Usually I would expect for December retail sales to lift up because, as mentioned, Christmas business and so on and so forth. But I know that retail said, at least I was reading some articles about retail, they were not really satisfied with the last December. So maybe consumers spend less money, maybe, but that's something I can't say at the moment, and we will see what's going to happen. So in case that's what they are expecting, in using now all these data to push up more, it will be absolutely possible. That's something we should have in mind. To be honest, I will miss the opportunity. Even like an investing.com article writer said, Bitcoin could make even 1 million very quick. I'm not kidding. I'm really not kidding. I mean, we are still waiting to see 100K, but they are already talking about potentially to see Bitcoin at 1 million. However, I will miss this situation. I will miss this opportunity. At least I can guarantee you, yeah, Inspo is not going to become rich. Absolutely not. You will, but I'm not. I will miss this opportunity. I will skip it. I will say, because I'm a very social person, so I prefer to give you the opportunity to become rich, but I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not. I will miss it, and that's fine. Absolutely fine. Not because that I will have nightmares in the night. However, at the moment, we will check what on-chain, what futures, what option traders, and what all these exchange walls are indicating on different exchanges. We will check all of them and try to figure out what we could expect tomorrow and the day after, the key day, Thursday, when everything will be decided because of CPI and core CPI. So let us go forward and check what's happening. Well, first of all, we remember, weights ratio did an amazing job. Now, the first time after we went up that crazy at almost 53.5%, that's really high. It could be that the weights ratio starts to decline. If that happens, that would be a sign that the preparation is done, and we will see what's going to happen next. Usually, as I mentioned many times just before, usually they start to unload. 2 days before the CPI? Maybe just coincidence. That's something we need to see, but the weights ratio 1 day time frame was too many times above of 60, and that's just too high. So nothing new here, as you can see, since yesterday. Nothing new happened here. We went up to 27%, and now it looks like it wants to decline. Let us take a look to the 1 hour time frame, because I think that's the most important one at the moment. The weights ratio is an indicator, only indicating what bears, so those who want to sell their Bitcoin, are doing. Maybe they are fake bears and behind them they have a bullish strategy, just to trap some bears or whatever. That's also possible. But let us take it very easy and let us think all these guys who are sending big amounts of Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, they just want to push the price down. So their purpose is really bearish. In such case, and you see such kind of dumps, for example, as mentioned many times just before, you can see that even the dumps are, they are not dumping anymore that big, but still indicating they let the price go up. They let the price go up. That's what they are doing. And using the opportunity, at the moment not yet, but they use the opportunity, for example here, almost 100%, almost 100%, almost 100%, indicating all the time afterwards sell pressure, afterwards sell pressure, even here afterwards sell pressure. Nothing big, but that's what they are doing. That's what the weights ratio, that's another information quality, because it's also indicating what bears are doing. And bears at the moment let the price go up. Usually because of two things. One thing, because bears are not stupid. If they can sell at 100k, they don't need to sell at 17k. I mean, even if I would have 1,000 Bitcoins and would be bearish, for me it would, to be honest with you, I wouldn't sell my Bitcoins at 70k. Maybe it would be wrong, but I wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't do it. Not at 70k. Because the opportunity to go up is of course bigger than to go down. Even you know that I'm bearish because of certain data. maybe you get it, maybe you know, and you say, what are you talking, Inspo? But it is what it is. So at 17K, the opportunity to go up and even to make 20, 21, 22, 23. If I have spot Bitcoin, I wouldn't say sell. I guess I wouldn't sell at 20K as well, just to wait and to see what's going to happen next. However, taking into account this information, I wouldn't sell it because I know they are pushing the price more up, more up. They are maybe not pushing directly, but they let the price go up. While at the same time, if we take into account the weights ratio 30 hours moving average, and that's something I checked, I didn't see that. That's almost flat. It's doing exactly the same what the price is doing. Exactly. If you check that, that's exactly what they are doing. And that's crazy. That's really crazy. But also indicating who is in command here. So if we check, for example, stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges, it pushed up, it's declining. Declining even more. We reached today this level here. That was October level. We are here right now. So indicating they are taking out, cashing out stablecoins, and so on and so forth. We will check what they did with the flow activity. But for now, we are done here. The weights ratio 30 hours moving average pushed up to almost above of 85, but it declined once again because they let the price go up. Every time when the weights ratio goes up, after the price pushed more up, they start to sell. That's pure distribution. In my opinion, nothing has changed. So let us go forward. So let us talk about flow activity and what's happening there. First of all, we can see Bitcoins. All the Bitcoins who are at the moment coming in. And you can see, if we check, for example, those two here, we have inflows here, we have outflows here. I guess you are noticing it. We are getting more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges than outflows. Also here, like the weights ratio 30 hours moving average or the 1 hour time frame is indicating us they let the price go up because they are not distributing all these Bitcoins they are sending. I guess also here it's just a preparation for Thursday. That's what they are doing. Also here, we will see that Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges are lifting up. So also indicating that. Let us take a look to the stablecoins. We received a lot of stablecoins yesterday, but if we check the outflows, indicating a lot of people cashed out, it's huge as well. I mean, we are taking into account December. Let us go a little bit more further. Can we see more? No, that's it. That's the maximum. Is that the maximum? No, it's not. We can do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Wow, that's September now. Check that. I mean, that's crazy. That's really crazy. First of all, a lot of people selling here and cashing out, but also buying here. Even the volume is not that high like we had just before. It's really crazy. If we check what happened yesterday, I mean, yeah, we received a lot of stablecoins. Here, for example, we received 1.4 billion. I mean, 1.4 billion. That's amazing. That's really great. At the same time, we had an outflow of 770 million, also big. I mean, if we check that, we had 550 million inflow, 570 million outflow. So indicating more, but that's fine. I mean, so then here we received this huge amount of stablecoins, 1.4 billion against 770 million. But then afterwards, 260 million inflow, 500 million outflow. Then later on, 640 millions inflow, 770 millions outflow. Wait, it's that 660? Yeah, it is. So, and so on and so forth. Even here, 410 millions outflow, 270 inflows, 240 millions inflows, and only 45 millions outflows. So it's indicating that bears, because you see the delay. So usually what happens? You have a plan you want to buy. You send stablecoins to centralized exchanges. You are ready to buy the dip, for example. Usually, because many of these transactions are part of algorithm trading. So they sell, they send automatically those funds out of the centralized exchanges. When you see that outflows have a delay, it means in that case that bulls are front running it. Means they send stable coins, they want to push, and bears are reacting. You remember that was not that was the opposite in the past when I said, yeah, bulls are just reacting. Bears are selling, then they send stablecoins to absorb all of them, the dips. Now it's absolutely the opposite. The thing now is bulls are pushing up and bears are reacting and selling. That's what's happening. So the whole story changed a little bit. What is the consequence of the result of it? Not sure yet. But it could also mean that bears are ready to sell the way up. That wouldn't be bearish, just to make it clear, in case of, because it didn't happen just before. Always before we had bears selling and then bulls reacted. Now the opposite is happening. But of course, we are trending up, not down. That's also something we should have in mind. However, we can see that the net flow, we had here a net flow of 660 millions, then a net flow of minus 480 million, so more outflows than inflows, then again 250 millions, then again 150 here and another 200 here. So a little bit more in favor of outflows, indicating they are cashing out and sending their stablecoins out. Maybe that explains all the moves, what is happening related to USDC. Because today, just few hours ago, it was really interesting. One of my followers, or one analyst on Twitter, I have retweeted what he said, and it was one view of all these activity related to Circle and Coinbase and USDC. And he said what is happening is they are sending USDT to an exchange, they are converting those and, for example, Ethereum, then convert these ones in USDC, and then they are sending those to Treasury to cash out in USD. Wow. I mean, if that's happening, the question is why? Why not directly use your USDT, sending them back to Treasury to cash out there? Well, first of all, because the contract of the terms of Tether allows them to give you a different asset than just fiat. So if you want to have to cash out and you send all your USDT, for example, to Treasury, don't expect to get USD. They can give you even gold or whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not sure if they would give you gold, but a different asset. It seems that on USDC you will get your USD, because that's what they mentioned, I don't know, several months ago, that was in 2022, I guess, where they announced that they are even on Coinbase backing the USDC with USD. So to send then your Ethereums, for example, or Bitcoins or whatever, to USD to Coinbase to cash out would be possible. We will see even more such activity, but I was struggling a little bit if that could happen. And then today I have seen that Bitfinex USDT, the same amount afterwards, directly to Coinbase, and then USDC, and then Treasury Circle, and it seems cashed out. So if that's really the case, I would be extremely careful with Circle, because I don't think they have unlimited cash. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. However, I trust USDC much more than Tether, much more. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of USDC. To be honest, I really don't care about stablecoins at all. But even, I like Paxos, for example, but I'm not really a fan of stablecoins. However, if that's really what's happening behind the curtains, it's a big red flag, maybe, and that's something we also should have in mind. Maybe that also explains a little bit what is happening behind. Some people are cashing out. I wouldn't say that's kind of wash trading or something, but if you can get your USD for that, if you know you have a way to cash out and to have your USD, it would make sense. I was showing also a tweet about the dominance between Bitcoin and altcoins. If they can send these altcoins to Coinbase to cash out in USD, also that would explain a lot. But it's a theory. We don't have any proof, of course, but something we should have in mind. As mentioned, I prefer 1000 times USDC more than Tether. But if they are really using this way, it could be a big flag for USDC, unfortunately. So from now on, I will make the analysis a little bit more quicker, because otherwise it's going to be a 2 hours analysis. So let us talk about what's happening to futures. Well, first of all, let's zoom in. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see in a better way what's happening, because it looks so bullish, but it isn't. If we zoom out, we can see open interest, for example, was here in September, October, and then here in November, and we are here. It's recovering, so at the moment we are here, but I mean, that's not bullish at all. I mean, bullish for centralized exchanges, because they are using mainly the futures as a cash cow at the moment. However, if we check what's happening here, we see that this positive funding rate is still intact. Even it starts to decline a little bit. So if that's a trend line and we will break out, we will go down, it's indicating they are demanding more shorts, but not at the moment. Leverage ratio is also lifting up, but still, if we check that, still not at the level that it was with all-time highs. As you can see, we came from here and we declined even more, and now we are here. So that's what's happening. Funding rate still indicating that they are demanding more longs, while it's reducing, so indicating they are demanding, the trend is changing a little bit more to shorts. But I guess because many people think that Bitcoin should go down very hard very soon, something I would expect too, but not related to futures, to be honest. Open interest, you can see, pushed up, down, is pushing up once again, and yeah, even the funding rate is not making anything, because it went up, now declining, or at least it declined and now a little bit up, but nothing big happened here. Even related to the volume, I mean, we had 220 millions today in the morning, and that's it. That was finally one mid-size stablecoin inflow, because we had in the past billions and 600 millions worth almost an average, not happening anymore. Also related to bitcoins, 1,700 bitcoins inflows to derivative exchanges is the max, and 2,400 or 2,350 bitcoins outflow as well. So also nothing big happening here, absolutely nothing. And that explains why the open interest is just lifting up step by step, very, very slowly in my opinion. So let us go forward. What is happening here? That's at least many people are saying, yeah, short squeeze, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Well, I mean, the last time we did a short squeeze, we went from 18,800 to 21,000, 2,000. And yeah, we had a lot of shorts because they liquidated almost, let me see, 32,000 bitcoins in shorts just in 2 days. Now we just went from 16,300 to right now 17.4, and they liquidated almost 1,700 bitcoins in shorts. How is that possible? If we had a mass of shorts involved, I don't know. I really don't know. I would expect if they really start to push down, they will liquidate a lot of longs. But it is just my opinion. As you know, it's not that easy also to see the whole balances. We can check, for example, Binance and check the open interest, the long short ratio, and so on and so forth, and so calculate a little bit if we still have more longs or more shorts. But at the moment, it looks like I don't know how many longs we have, and if we are pushing down very hard, if we are going to liquidate the mass of longs, I really don't know. But I guess it. I guess it because, of course, I mean, at 16, 17K, usually, many would expect we will go up. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. You have more space to the upside than to the downside. So yeah, sometimes, it makes more sense than too long. But even you still know. I mean, what I'm saying is not what I think in related to what I would trade. But, it's 17K to push more up. It's a better option, I guess, than down. Even I think we will go down. I don't know if you get me. However, funding rate unchanged. It lifted up, it declined a lot, so nothing happened here. Leverage ratio lifted up, it's declining, and the open interest not doing anything. That's an aggregated view of what is happening at the moment. And that's it from here. If we check Binance, on Binance, it looks a little bit different. So also here we can zoom out a little bit, and we can see that if we zoom out, it looks still bullish because they are still demanding more longs. Right now declining because, of course, Bitcoin is lifting up, so potentially it will retrace, so make a quick money. Open interest and leverage ratio also going up, indicating they use leverage more than volume, but both correlates very well, indicating as well that at least more open interest, so more money is coming in. However, you can see that was in November. We are far away from November. We had in November almost 4 billion, 3.9 billion, and we are still missing 1.3 billions. We are at the moment, we have on Binance an open interest, it seems, of 2.6 billions, at least related to CryptoQuant, and that's something we need to check on Blockchain Whispers next. And that's what we are going to do. So let us see what's happening here. Well, first of all, price is going up. People are starting to short because they are expecting to go down. Once again, that's what I expect as well, but not just because the price is going up. I have different arguments. Wealth ratio is my argument. Market maker entity is my argument. I wouldn't care a lot about the price action, to be honest. But let us see. However, bears here, or at least shorters, are taking over. So they flip the longs. We have now 51 to 49. On Ethereum, it looks even, well, crazy, because 40 to 60. And that's really bearish, because, or bullish, if they want to liquidate all of them just to push up more. But yeah, that's what we can see actually here. At the same time, on Bitfinex, we doesn't see anything. So they added more longs and nothing happened here. I think they added a little bit more shorts, but that's it. So nothing big, to be honest. Let us check what the Kingfisher is doing. So on Kingfisher, at the moment, we can see we have here a bunch to liquidate that's at a price of 17k and 16.5. At the same time, nothing here, and the next bunch of liquidations of shorts will be at 19.2. Not that big anymore, so indicating we have more high leverage shorts, longs, sorry. So if we want to liquidate the same volume, we need, cluster volume or positions, whatever, we need to go much more higher. On Binance, between 20,500 and 21. So if they really want to push up more the market and to liquidate all of them, they need to push up very hard, hitting 21k, and all these high leverage longs will cash out, take profit, and everything is fine. As you can see, even we have seen, for example, what is Blockchain Whispers showing us. We can see that the biggest volume in liquidations are on the long side, while they reduced a lot on the short side. So usually when we see less liquidations, but it seems more volume like we had just in the past, it's indicating that whales are here and retailers are here. Because retailers have less liquidity, less money, but they generate more positions. While whales, for example, they use more volume and less positions. At least the theory. However, so we had the same situation, but the opposite trend, where we had more retailers on the short side, and now it looks like we have more retailers on the long side. And you know how it works. We push up more, we push up more, and it seems we are waiting for the next trigger, and then it will collapse. It will go down to liquidate all these people who are right now mooning, at least in their mind. Let us go forward. So let us take a look what the CVDs are showing us. First of all, if you compare that, that's Binance CBD spot for BTC USDT. That's the aggregated one. That's futures. Bitcoin collateral, stablecoin collateral. If you check the price, what of these charts are looking more similar? Aggregated? Nope. Bitcoin spot? Nope. This one, that's Bitcoin collateral, maybe, yeah, a little bit, but not 100%. But this one, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's a copy of what the market is doing. And that's something that's crazy. That's just crazy. I just can explain that I guess algos are using spot to push the futures, their future positions, to push up more, to push up more, to push up more, because it seems that's not driven 100% by spot. Otherwise, those charts should look a little bit different. Of course, we have passive orders as well, also triggered by algos, but if we check this one, that's crazy. That looks like, I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense because you can't drive the whole spot price with futures. It's not possible. So they need to use spot as well to push up so that these futures can do their work. And it seems that's what they are doing. At the moment, that's at least what it's looking like. I have also retweeted from 52Q, 52K skew. Also an analyst on Twitter I like very much, and he just tweeted algos doing some inventory reduction ahead of CPI this morning. Systematics are selling, chop chop. ES, BTC, ETH. Well, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure about that. I mean, at least it doesn't look like, because otherwise I couldn't really explain why this chart here looks exactly like the spot, because that spot, that's not derivative, that's the spot chart. It doesn't make any sense. So they are using spot trading as well to push these futures as well. Otherwise, it wouldn't have this effect to the spot price as well. But however, very interesting. Anyway, if we go forward, we can see Binance, market traders distributing, then they pushed up a little bit and distributed even more. And that's, at least it looks like they are doing exactly the same. So in 5 days, they reduced their positions, or it seems they distributed almost 10,000 Bitcoins. Not that bad. Only market traders. We are not talking about orders. So if we are taking a look, for example, here, that's the aggregated one and indicating, they pushed here, they pushed here, they pushed here, they pushed here. Then they started to decline, distributing while the price is not doing it. It's going up, like for example here. That's exactly what the futures are doing. Now let us go forward. If we check here, let us just, for example, well, we don't need that. We can just make this one. That's Bitfinex. Bitfinex, we remember, pushed up and distributed a lot, pushed up a little bit more. It's distributing more. Now hitting up, of course, pushing up a little bit, but it's not bullish what they are doing. Market traders here more on the distribution side. Kraken bullish. I mean, just up. They don't see anything else than just up. Even Bitget, you can see, pushed up, just distributed a little bit and pushed up more, and that's it. I mean, we are not talking about huge volume, so we don't need to talk about that. Coinbase, pushing up. I mean, pushed, started to distributed here even more, and it's pushing again up. So it seems one of the main driver of the last few hours of price action. If we take a look on Bitstamp, also here, only up. If we take a look to Gemini, they pushed up here, distributed here, making a nice profit, and also pushing up here, not distributing big anymore, and that's it. So let us take a look to entities, retailers. These guys pushed up a little bit. Right now it looks like a little bit they want to reduce, it seems, a little bit their balances. These guys here, 1 to 10 Bitcoin wallets, reducing balances. These guys here pushing up 10 to 100 Bitcoins. They are pushing up more. These guys here declined a little bit, but also pushing up a little bit more. I mean, it's not big volume at all, but it's a trend. If we take a look to the market maker, I'm still waiting for their accumulation, but it's not happening. I have mentioned a few months ago, if the market maker, if the price is starting to go up and up and up, while the market maker is not accumulating, it's even more bearish than you think, because these guys are not interested yet to buy Bitcoin. That's what it is. And they reduce their balances a lot. Something that many people are missing. They are talking, yeah, because everything is so overloaded, bearish, the market is bullish. In my opinion, we need such kind of entities, and when we see that these guys are accumulating, that's really bullish. That's the signature below of the contract. That's the ultimate confirmation. It's not happening. It's still not happening. While these guys here reducing a little bit their balances, also indicating their, of course, the price is going up, so they are taking out their Bitcoins from centralized exchanges. And in these entities, you will have a lot of centralized exchanges linked. Bitfinex, Binance, Cold Wallets, Gemini, Kraken, and so on and so forth. If we go forward, we can also see that the market maker is doing a good job, because they are reducing their balances, selling while the price is going up. Sold here 700 Bitcoins, here 800 Bitcoins, here, for example, well, I don't know if they are selling, but at least sending to centralized exchanges. Another 1,250 Bitcoins, and right now another 700 Bitcoins. That's what they are doing. Usually when they do that, it means we will go down. At least that's what they did in the past. Market makers, entity, I mean, I called them because I did an full analysis about their trade behavior, and they knew they didn't know every fake rally. They triggered every fake rally in 2021. They accumulated millions of Bitcoins between 2018 and 2020, and they started the bull run in 2020. They started to distribute when everyone was extremely informal, and so on and so forth. Market maker signature. These guys are not accumulating. Instead, sometimes triggering some FOMO pumps to distribute even more. That's what's happening. So yeah, that's almost it. As you can see, centralized exchanges, their Bitcoin reserves are lifting up, not huge at all. So we are not talking about 60,000, 70,000. It's almost 15,000 or something. So absolutely not big at all. Market activity declining more. Only futures, it seems, are recovering. Miners doing a nice job. They are just rising their reserves once again. So they are mining, it seems, Bitcoins, and everything is fine. And that's it from here. Let us go forward. So we see Coinbase started here to push up, at least we can see here more market buys, market purchases. And I think that's not a coincidence that since then the price is going up, 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 up. You can see here a lot of volume pushing up the price more. They started to reduce their liquidity to the down, to the downside. Only here at 15K they introduced a new wall, but they are taking out some liquidity there. it's really interesting that they, for example, just remove the liquidity at 16.5, for example. So it seems they're extremely sure that we will not go down that fast. At the moment, waiting at 19k. So 19k, afterwards 21, afterwards, well, if we check, we can go to the moon because they are waiting at every level just to sell. Deribit at the moment, yeah, also the same, waiting at 19k at the moment. And to the downside, yeah, we have here at 17k waiting at 16.9, and that's it. Nothing big to see here. Bitstamp, on Bitstamp, they are waiting at 18k. They remove the wall here, and the next bigger wall would be at 15k, so nothing big here as well. Binance looks different. We had a breakout, then we that was like a bull trap, then we break to the downside, then we had another breakout, retest, and we went up. And they are triggering all sell orders here. They triggered this sell order here, then this one, and now they are hitting to 17.5 to trigger this order. I mean, look that, they are just buying, while some people selling. However, and every time when they push more up, they start to protect to the downside at 17.2, for example, here at 17k, here at 16.9, here at 16.7, and so on and so forth. Also bringing some more liquidity at 16.3, removing more to the downside. So for example, here we have now, as you can see, they are just removing liquidity. It looks like that's part of algo trading, or something, because that looks really strange. However, they are removing liquidity to the downside, like, hey guys, we are almost done, and at the same time they are triggering all these buy orders we had all the time there, one after the other, and we have still much more. I mean, if they want really to trigger all of them, then we should go at least to 22 before they are going to look for a new dip or whatever. However, you see here we had a lot of liquidity and they are reducing it. That's what we can see here on Binance. Unfortunately, I can't zoom out that much. So Bitfinex spot, also here waiting between, yeah, I would say something like 17.8 and 20,600. That's it. That's really it. The next bigger wall would be at 17,800, and that's absolutely it. 17k. Also waiting here at 16.3 and so on and so forth. So the biggest one would be at 15k, and that's it. Let us go forward. Hello. Yeah, that's the problem if I zoom out too much. OKEX spot. Nothing. Kraken at 18k, removed at 18.5, sell orders, and they are removing liquidity to the downside as well. Also bullish, as you can see. CVD lifting up on Bitget as well. BitMEX now at 16k and 15.6. Strange, because 14 and 14.1. I don't know why they are doing it, but however. Binance futures also here triggering all the shorts. That's so amazing to see that. They removed the short order. It's 17.6, but it's still, they shifted to the downside. It's 17.6, so it was here 17.67, now it's 17.6. However, and here's the next bigger one waiting to get triggered. It's 17.4, for example, but they triggered every single big short order here. That's crazy. While the CVD is lifting up, indicating they are buying, market traders are buying more longs. And also here reducing liquidity, so reducing all the long orders to the downside. If we check, for example, now we can see we have 6,000 bitcoins more to short than to long, between a price range between 17.2 and 17.7. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So that is what we can see here. Bitfinex derivatives. So I'm sorry, we have a 2-month-old dog in house, and sometimes it's a drama queen. Well, however, if we check here, for example, Bitfinex derivatives, I mean, it's for them at least really big volume, as you can see, and they have started to long here at 17.2, like, okay, 17, that's it, from here up only. The biggest volume here was, well, it's really that one. No, it's that one. 570 bitcoins longs and 300 bitcoins in shorts. So not that big as expected, but the bar looks so extremely big. However, Kraken futures, what's happening there? Interesting. While they are buying spot, they are not that bullish longing it. That's really interesting what Kraken is doing. OKEX futures, instead, yeah, also interesting. They are buying spot, but at least market traders shorting more than longing. Interesting. And okay, OKEX swap, nothing to see here. That's fine. And last but not least, Bitget BTC USDT. At least here they are market traders just longing it, longing all the time. Not that bad. I mean, if I check that, also here, wow, 11,000 bitcoins. I guess it's bitcoins, no, or BTC USDT. I'm not sure. I guess I would say Bitget. I'm not really sure. However, it doesn't matter that much. No, I think that's USDT. Yeah. That's not that big. Okay. We are done, and let us go to the next chapter and the final one.